Yeah, that was what he needed to do, just stay focused, and he got the better of Zverev. Now, from there, let's move to other friends still talking about Madison Keys and, of course, Sloane Stephens. But first, talk about Madison Keys. I mean, if you know how this lady had been, you know, on court, you will understand how good she can be when she's at her best. She was just able to do the business quite cool against Yulia Putintseva in straight sets, 7-6, 6-4, to continue that her fine form that she's had at Roland Garros this year. Remember, she has never really been so good on clay. But right now in this particular matchup, she just had a very, very easy one. Let's get a reaction first.
Very happy with today. I obviously was down a break in the first, so to be able to get that back and play, you know, I think a lot better after that was really great. Yeah, I'm definitely liking the clay a little bit more now that I've made a semifinal here. I grew up in the States where we don't really have red clay, so even playing on clay, it was green clay, which is much faster and much different. So my first real experience on red clay was when I was 16 or 17, so it's been a little bit longer for me to get used to it, but I feel like every year I get more comfortable. I've actually been told quite often that I'll never do well because I'm too nice of a person, and I think that's a lot of crap, but, you know, it's just me. I don't think you have to be mean in order to win matches. I think there's a difference between being intense and wanting it and fighting and not being nice. So that's something that I've always stayed true to. I'm not ever going to try to be a person that isn't nice.
Yeah, just being nice on tennis courts might just making her to be a better player. But then she's really not worried about that because she's going to be facing her friend next, talking about Sloane Stephens. Remember, both of them met at the U.S. Open final, and of course it was Sloane Stephens who got the better one of Madison Keys.
Interesting. That's not too long ago, and it was a bit of an anticlimax. We expected a very, very tough competitive contest. It didn't turn out to be so, but for Madison Keys, she's on fire. She hasn't dropped a set, so she's going to go into that match against Sloane Stephens with great confidence. And but you never can tell how this match is going to play out. I think for me, it's a toss-up. Any one of them can win. For Sloane Stephens, she had a tougher opponent. You can put it that way because Daria Kasatkina has been playing really well in Paris this year. But Sloane Stephens just didn't. I mean, she was just on fire. She was unstoppable. 6-3, 6-1. She won in 1 hour, 10 minutes. She wrapped up 17 winners, 18 unforced errors, compared to Kasatkina's 10 winners and 25 unforced errors. And that's why Sloane Stephens is in the semifinals. Let's take a post-match reaction. She looks forward to taking on Madison Keys for place in the final.
Court, it's time to compete, but before that, we're not going to like be weird and awkward and make it like weird for each other. I mean, now I just have to go find her because I needed to tell her about some juicy stuff. So I just went and searched for her like in the training room. But yeah, I think everything will be normal, and then we get on the court. It's time to compete. It's go time. But until then, we're same girls as always. We're both playing well in the semis of a Grand Slam. Obviously, it's just another opportunity. It's great for American tennis to have 2 Americans in the semifinals of the French Open. I think is pretty incredible, and that means that 1 American will be in the finals of the French Open, which is another amazing thing. So I thought I played pretty solid. I knew that obviously every time you go into a match, there's a little bit of nerves that come into it. So I knew that I just had to come out and keep swinging. And sometimes I start really well. Sometimes I start a little sluggish. So I knew that I needed to keep swinging no matter what, even if it was very close. So that's what I did. And then when I got my opportunities at 4-3 to break, I was like, it's go time.
Right, Sloane Stephens there advancing into the semifinals of the French Open, where she's going to take on Madison Keys. And this is the first time since 2002 that 2 Americans are at this stage of the competition. The last 2, surprise, surprise, Venus and Serena. I mean, these ladies, I think it's about time that they take over. I mean, it's about time they take over. Serena is getting on in age. Venus is getting on in age. And the next generation,
just these 2 ladies.
This is it. They need to retire the Williams sisters somehow and take over.
Just take over if they can. 25, I mean,
if
that's
they can.
Really cool. If they can, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But I think they can. Because
That's
I
the
remember she has
aim.
never been past the last 16.
For both of them, this
Both
is
of
the
them.
first
This is the first time.
semis.
So for them to be in the semis for the first time,
Yeah.
I think they're ready to take over. These are
think
the
so.
ladies are really not too good on clay. So if they have been able to get this far, one of them obviously will be in the finals. You're
Right.
going to be having an American in the final
At
of the
least.
French Open.
Okay.
From the French Open, quickly, let's get updates coming from the White House concerning the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the disinvitation coming from President Donald Trump.
Yeah, this invitation. I like that word. I mean, it's just more stories
More
are coming
stories,
out.
The ceremony heard, but then the players were not there.
The
but
players said, no, we're not coming. And because of that, President Trump canceled their invitation. Now, but let's just go and get the official word from the White House and the White House and spokeswoman Sarah Sanders on the exact situation between the White House and the Eagles.
Look, if this wasn't a political stunt by the Eagles franchise, then they wouldn't have planned to attend the event and then backed out at the last minute. And if it wasn't a political stunt, then they wouldn't have attempted to reschedule the visit when they knew that the president was going to be overseas. And if this wasn't a political stunt, they wouldn't have waited until Monday, well after 1,000 of their fans had traveled and taken time out of their schedules to offer only a tiny handful of representatives to attend the event. The president has made his position crystal clear on this topic. He feels strongly that standing for our national anthem is something that we should do, something that matters to what makes our country special and unique and what sets us apart. He's not going to waver on that, and he's not going to apologize for it. And frankly, more than 70% of Americans agree with him on that matter. If you go back to what the original intent was, this has been made a political argument of which the president is not going to back down from, and he's been clear on it.